What's up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going? The Celtic Warriors, James.
Soda.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
Bella.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Hey, welcome to the dive bar of the IWC. Welcome to Wrestling on the Rocks, episode 1. Again, I'm at Ref Marsh. This is at WOTR, the show. With me today on Thursday night. It's second round. This is the second round nightcap. I just did a whole drinking hour with old Bishop. So we're in it. We are in the mess. We're in the thick of it.
Why is Bishop trying to steal my spot, man?
Yeah, you should have seen Curl came through. He was livid that it wasn't the show we thought it was going to be.
See,
maybe he'll come through.
See, Bishop, you're taking my spot. Okay. Yeah. Why didn't you just do birthdays at the same time, Bishop? Why didn't you tell everybody it was your birthday? Happy birthday, Bishop. Yeah, why didn't you do that?
He told people. I thought he told. I don't know if he told people.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Getting the Thursday night people all riled up. Is that how you do things in Delaware? I promise myself. But
that's a good point.
Yes.
I mean, I wonder how old his chickens became. Everyone's got chickens out there. I'm seeing this shit online right now about Dave Milliken. Did you see this?
Who?
I mean, I haven't been on Twitter in like 3 days, so I opened it up. One of the first things I see is Dan Beltzer, Belt Fan Dan, who's a custom belt
maker,
super fan. I think he's a super fan of him.
Oh, okay.
He posted this little thread here, and it's crazy. He goes, glad Dave Milliken had the time for Talk Is Jericho interview, but still can't find the time to finish the 50-plus paid in full belt orders he still owes to collectors going on 10-plus years in some cases. Biggest con in all of wrestling, but overlooked because of who his friends are. And someone said, is the list of paid customers still growing? I remember hearing this ad on a podcast a while back, like really. And then Dan says, he claimed on the podcast 40 belts, but it's more than that. Then with Reggie Parks passing, Dave is responsible for Reggie's multi-year backlog according to the fine print when paying the LLC. Dave already claims he will not honor that because he told Rico to remove it. Crazy. You just like... Yeah, this is insane. Someone says, why didn't it make it to the court of law? He said it would likely be a class action lawsuit, would have to be. Some people were able to get Dave to contact them after they had lawyers draft letters and send them to Dave and send a copy to Tennessee Attorney's General Office. Sadly, real court would cost more in legal fees than the belt money. And then he says, update, yesterday a customer who was waiting years on their belt received a refund check from Dave. It should be noted this person had a lawyer draft a letter and sent it to the Tennessee Attorney General in 2022.
Oh, Jesus.
God, that is crazy and not cool. But yeah, I'm glad we got our custom belt. The old Wrestling on the Rocks Overweight Championship of the World.
Oh, Jesus.
Drinking buddies. Thanks, Reddit. It was a lot. But yeah, that's kind of crazy. I wonder how much of them were like custom versus replicas. You know what I mean? Like, because those custom belt makers would make like a replica of the Winged Eagle per se, right? But like,
yeah,
I wonder how many people were trying to get like podcast type stuff, like putting my logo on this belt. How many other people were trying to do that and never got it?
I don't know, but it seems like maybe it was a mixture. I don't know. I don't know about these things, so yeah, no clue. But maybe that's what it could have been. I don't know. But to have enough people outraged, but then also, so he was actually on Talk as Jericho doing what?
Yeah, I'm sure just talking to Jericho about bullshit.
Oh, okay.
Just talking about how he's amazing and stuff. I always think I've heard a couple of interviews and enjoyed them. I thought they were interesting. I wonder if he just did that with like the pure replicas, because like, imagine if you're a promotion and you went to him and you wanted the world title and you.
Well, who knows?
You know what I mean?
Well, he could have skipped out on money on an actual promotion. I don't know.
It's possible, I guess.
You never know. People are in this community, I will say, is people are very shady. That's all I will say.
Yeah, and I mean, and how many industries is the money up front? You know what I mean? Like, it's getting weirder and weirder to the amount of people that want money up front because they don't trust you not to pay. But what's really happening is that people should be not trusting people to get what they pay for. Like, it's insane. That happens more often, always. More people are willing to pay the amount than people are willing to do the work.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh. That's crazy. I don't know. I didn't intend to do that. I just was open right when our intro was going, and I was like, what? Hold on, what is this? So let's backtrack just a bit. Miss AmandaJayne, what's in your glass?
Well, you know what, guys? I'm actually currently on the road. I apologize in advance for the horrible lighting, but I was in a bar mood. I've already had at the hotel I'm at. Shout out to Hyatt. I was at a convention. A Hyatt convention. I just had 2 very berry lemon drops, but now I'm having some orange cream soda called Texas Orange Dream Craft Soda.
There you go.
It was free. And then when I'm done with that, do you know what red cola is? I'm trying to figure out what red cola is because I'll drink this other one.
I think it's going to be like Big Red. Have you ever had Big Red?
The gum?
No.
What's
the
that?
Soda?
Well, what's it taste
soda.
like?
Big Red soda pop. She did too. Everyone thinks it's gum. It's a soda.
Yeah,
it's kind of a cinnamon flavored soda.
Red freshness, they don't make that.
Ingredients: number 1, water; 2, corn syrup.
Okay. But isn't that
what is the
sodas?
American cream? Oh, it's a variety of cream soda. So it's creamy. I do remember getting it, but it's got like a bit of a tang to it because it was one of my old buddy's favorite sodas. So every now and again, if I'd see a Big Red, I'd bring it home for him.
Like Big Red, when I think of it, it's like looks like Hawaiian Punch.
Yeah.
So it's not. Or am I thinking? Oh no, the other one was Tahitian Treat. That one was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I guess we'll see if it's like a cream soda. Yeah.
I don't know, but this one is orange cream, and let me tell you, it tastes pretty damn good. Only reason why I'm cracking these open is because I can't take them on the plane, and we had a swag bag that we could put our own like fun things, and I actually have from I've totally been wanting to go to a Buc-ee's, and they had things from Buc-ee's. So I have animal beaver crackers and a bag of beaver salted caramel nuggets, beaver nuggets or whatever. So I haven't had those yet because I wanted to take them home for snacks, but they wouldn't let me take home the stuffed beaver thing. It was part of one of their props, and I was like, no.
You tried to take part of their display?
I wanted to take it home. They didn't say, you couldn't take it, but I did not take it, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they did tell you couldn't take it.
Yeah, but I could have taken it. Boy, that sounded all sorts of confusing.
Yeah. Well, I'm a big fan of the old beaver nugget. Yeah. I'm finishing up my vodka drink and I've got another drink here for specific cheers. And then I'm gonna have probably some like seltzer stuff. But it's not about what you're drinking, it's who you're drinking with. And we're drinking with all you drinking buddies. There's a bunch going on. We haven't been on in a while. I don't know if we're going to hit every topic and completely review AEW and NXT. There's just kind of a lot happening that we thought we could just talk about, I mean, for one, I went to a show up in Tempe that we want to talk about. We do want to talk. Yeah. We do want to talk a little bit about AEW and NXT and a little bit about some of the new stuff. So, you had told me before, it's how we started the last show. So if anyone's hearing these two back to back or anything, I mean, it shouldn't be a big surprise to hear it again. I won't repeat everything that I said earlier, but I do want to let you have the floor to be able to say your piece on Jay Briscoe, what he meant, who he was, interactions.
I was hoping maybe we can do birthdays first, because that's a very heavy thing, especially because of one of the people whose birthday it is this week.
Yeah.
Well,
if you want, we can do that. I thought that the birthdays would lighten up the mood after something.
No, you know what would lighten up the mood? Talking about Kauai.
Oh my God, that's true.
That would. So yeah. It's not funny, but anyways.
All right. Well, then run through them birthdays.
Let's run through them birthdays. All right. So this is actually a really great one. I want to shout out yesterday, because this is a show we talk about NXT.
Yep.
My favorite leader of the choo-choo train, the conductor, which is what it should be said. Happy birthday, Wendy Choo. I love her.
She's probably sleeping through this right now.
Probably, but she's going to wrestle next week. So
we were talking about Wendy Choo.
Yeah, Wendy Choo.
I got yelled at for that.
Why did you get all producers lady yelling at you about Wendy Choo? Oh my Lord. What the hell?
She heard me accuse somebody of sleeping, and she thought I was accusing her of being
sensitivity.
But
sensitivity. Oh my.
We've had here. I'm not. I'm explaining why I'm being yelled at.
God. Yeah, speaking of more NXT people, last week we did miss the lovely Casey Canzaro. Happy birthday. We missed people like Riddle, Shane McMahon, all those other fun stuff. But actually today we have a couple of birthday people. So shout out to my favorite. Well, no, he's not my favorite. The Guardians of the Galaxy, but Batista. Happy birthday, Dave. Have you seen the Onion thing on Netflix?
Oh, the Knives Out redo or
the Knives Out.
Not yet. It's on our list, and it's one that we've pulled up a couple times, but then something else has grabbed our attention that we've jumped
Let me
on.
tell you, Dave Batista is fucking hilarious in this movie.
I've heard by a couple people that it is very good.
It is very, very good. I've seen it now 3 times. Loved it.
I was even told by somebody, they asked me to go, have you seen the original Knives Out? And I was like, yes. And like, actually, it doesn't matter. You could still watch this one. I was like, what? And they're like, you got to watch the new one. Like, it doesn't, you don't have to. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's very, very good. I think you'd really enjoy it. Machine Gun, Carl Anderson.
Oh. Yeah.
Happy birthday, man. Nice to see those kinds of things. The $1 Million Man, happy birthday. I still love that whole, the Cameron Grimes L. a night. Yeah. I still loved all of that. I still
That
do.
one,
It was
that
fun.
might be one of my favorite stories of the pandemic era in NXT. The $1 million
Possibly.
storyline.
But it was great. I mean, I loved it. It was great.
That's what I mean. It might be my favorite one. When I think about, because there's good ones. There's ones I really liked. I loved the Balor and Kyle O'Reilly story, actually, and Balor and Cross I liked.
Yeah.
But like, when I think about just like the most excitement and most fun,
That was the most, yeah, it was
and
great.
that was the one I looked forward to the most to see what was next.
I think we all did on that one.
Yeah.
So, yes. And then also, you guys aren't going to know this guy, but one of my local people out in the Bay Area, one half of the freshest tag team, part of the conglomerate, which I really hope they get to be at the collective for the culture. I'm really pushing for that. Is Alpha Zo. So happy birthday, dude. It's crop top birthday time. So woohoo. He probably was like, what the hell are you talking about? But it's okay, take a drink, relax.
Yeah.
Breathe in and out. So that's another good one. Let's see. R-Truth, happy birthday. I would rap. What's up? What's up? That's all you're gonna get from me. Oh boy. Another birthday boy, Tyler Breeze. Happy birthday. And now here's one from AEW, but I must ask this question because I don't know. But happy birthday, Wardlow. Where the hell did Wardlow go?
I don't know. I just thought he fell out of favor.
I don't know.
They cooled him off. They cooled him off like they didn't want him around.
Yeah, they sure did. But you know what? Tony does that to everybody. Almost everybody.
You know what I was going to say? Since you brought it up, since you're bringing up Wardlow. Because he's a perfect example of this. I was actually thinking, I was like, I'm going to bring this up.
Okay.
Do you think that there's a part of Tony that literally gets someone to be cheered one time, like even a debut, they cheer, and you think Tony goes, oh, all right, well, they're over, I don't have to worry about that one, and sets them aside, like, well, they're as over as they're gonna get. Anytime they come out, they're gonna get that big ovation. I don't have to worry about booking them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like Wardlow's the victim of that too, where it's like people wanted to work with him to do stuff, and then all of a sudden he was like, no one like a Jericho or someone who's got the ear of Tony, which at the time Wardlow was getting MJF and CM Punk and all that. Once CM Punk walked away, there was nobody saying, I want to work with Wardlow. So in his mind, he's like, well, he's over. I can use him whenever. I'll just wait until someone wants to work with him. Like, it doesn't seem like he's got a ton of foresight.
No, Tony's
oh my
weird.
God, he's pulling his shit again. Curl's trying to like push his shit, man. Look at this. He's doing it again. He goes, so I just feel the need to mention something that wasn't scripted that happened on Impact. Dude, every time you say that and show me those clips that look scripted as fuck, man.
What are you talking about?
Scott is not that good at being off script, and I'm not buying the bully shit. It's all bully and Scott D'Amore.
It's
bully again.
Okay, Bully Ray. Okay.
He's
horrible
on script. I'm not buying it, dude. And he doesn't even come off like he's not.
No, he's a dick.
Bully Ray was set. It's right here. Bully Ray was set to be in a mixed gender match. And he walks up to the ramp and says, you're out of your mind if you're thinking I'm getting in the ring with women. Men don't wrestle women. Then refuse to sell any of the women's moves the entire match. Yeah, that's exactly in character. That's not off at all.
No.
That's not even sort of surprising. That's exactly what he would do to try and get some cheap
fucking heat.
IWC heat. I mean, it's good heat. It's good heat, to be real. But that's IWC heat.
Yeah.
But I read it for you, Kiro. Because I still like you. You're my dude.
Hey,
I'll ref for you anytime.
I watched
Of course, they cut his mic. They cut his mic when they said it. That's how you know. They cut CM Punk's mic at the right time too. That's part of this show. I'm not buying it, dude. I'm not buying the bullies off script. The only way he's getting away with off script is, quote, not being told what to do. That's the closest you can get to difference. Hey, I'm gonna go out there and trash the idea of this women's match. Okay. Oh, you shouldn't have said it like that. Ugh. He said what you said. Like not for a second am I buying the Bully Rays out there saying, I'm not gonna wrestle a woman and go, oh, how could he have said that? They would have never. He's the biggest heel they have. Of course he's gonna say fucking MJF would have done the same thing on script.
No.
You don't think MJF would have said that shit?
No.
It's too easy not to. That's low-hanging fruit. That's his MO. MOJF.
Okay.
All right, we should get back to birthdays, and then I'll give
Yeah,
Kuro
we
a
should
little
get back
what
to the
for
birthdays.
again. Sorry. But again, I like
I don't
Kuro,
know.
but I'm reading
I
it.
don't know how that's segmented from Wardlow to Bully Ray. Boy, you sure can derail this show.
I mean, if you guys want to derail the show, that is an option. We record
That
live.
was
We keep the chat
rain
open.
timing one too.
Yeah, that one got me all heated.
Yeah, see? Good Lord. Thank God that didn't interrupt something else because, boy, awkward.
No.
Yeah. So, anywho. Oh, yeah. By the way, Kiro, I did believe in Joe Hendry, by the way.
Oh.
I believe in Joe Hendry. Sorry. I'm a nerd. Anyways, I said Tyler Breeze. Maurice. Okay, I fucking love Maurice. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I do. I've always loved Maurice, though. But anyways, I know people can disagree with me, but whatever. Honky Tonk Man, Michelle McCool. And I think I went over on one, but I almost told you it's Monet's birthday. Let's segue into that. Happy birthday, people. Marsh showed me one of, I think, the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And it was a couple of minutes of my life that I cannot get back.
Wait, are you off of the birthdays?
Yeah, because I almost said it was her birthday. Happy birthday, y'all. And then
so I thought you were gonna talk Briscoe and then.
Well, I almost told us that Monet's birthday, but it's wrong. It's for next week. So I was gonna do. Okay, yeah, no.
All right.
Okay,
Well, whatever. It's your show today. Do whatever you want.
No, it's not my show.
Yeah,
okay.
it is. It's fine. It's your show today.
No, I just got derailed. Okay, that was you, Kira. You got me all flustered because you got Marsh all mad, and now
whatever. I don't care. It's your show.
And now
I'm just here to party.
It's not my party. No, if
No,
it was my party, I'd get Coca-Cola, but I'm stuck with this because we're a Pepsi hotel. God damn. Anyways.
Kira makes a really good point, actually.
Mm.
Says it's Amanda's show. Talk about butts.
We'll that's another segue. Another for later.
Yeah, we'll broach that bump when we get to it.
I need someone to remix the Salt and Pepper. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about butts, baby. Okay.
Yeah, anyway. I still need to make that.
Right.
I'm here for the dude butt shirt.
Let's.
But go ahead. Yeah, talk about the Banks Monè, Money Monè, Mercedes Monè, Money Monè, money.
Where did that come from? Because you just showed
Monè. It was NJPW's YouTube. It was their official YouTube. That was their edit, their video of Sasha Banks cutting a fucking 6-minute long promo with a lot of cuts. So it went on longer. I wonder if they did it like interview style, asked her to say something about something and she responded, because in fairness, I do feel like with all the hard cuts that it comes off disjointed. Mm-hmm. And I feel like there's a possibility it's because it was recorded in a very disjointed way and that might not be her fault. So in her defense, it could be that they did it interview style and cut out all the things that would give you that context.
Yeah, but there was a lot of stuff in there that was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they didn't have to use all that.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess I couldn't take it after a while. So about halfway through, I had to turn it off. I couldn't handle it anymore. And Marsh made me go back. But what I couldn't, during the parts that I couldn't handle was, I don't think she knows what her name is because she kept calling herself different things. And I'm confused by that.
There was a legit part of me when I was watching it that thought, did they record this before the trademark came through? Because she tried to trademark a couple things. And I think Banks Monè or Banks Monè and Mercedes Monè were both on that list. And so I was like, part of me was like, did she record this like a couple months ago before she knew which one she was going to stick with?
And she kept that hairstyle for that long? I would hope not.
That's a wig.
Or whatever.
Yeah, when you pay for a wig, you use it a lot.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, like I paid for this shirt. I wear it every week. People see it every week.
But that's different, though.
I mean, I'm less of a gimmick than she is. Like, so, yeah, if I... You kidding me?
You're just a referee shill. That's
we just
all.
haven't gotten to Marv yet, but we're putting Marv up in here. Like we.
Oh, I know you're putting. Oh, he has a name now.
Yeah. So it's like we use stuff. So there's no way she's not gonna use that hair a bunch. She paid for it.
So Marv, this
Yeah.
is totally not subject on the topic of anything. Marv needs a shirt too. And
We've been already investigating shirts for Marv.
Thank you. No, but
That
I'm
is on the
talking
list.
a special one you're going to buy for $45.
Those are full size shirts.
Well, I know, but
I'm trying to get puppet size shirts.
I know you can get a puppet size shirt. I'm sure,
Oh my
but
God.
anyways, he does need our show shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to get. We've been looking at. We even saw a proper number 12 bottle that had a little hoodie on it to like keep it warm or something. And I was trying to see if I could get it to fit him.
Oh.
Because how cool that'd be if it was just him in a proper 12 hoodie. So dope.
Nice.
I would probably have to. I would have had to cut the sleeves off, so it would have been like Randy Orton style.
Nice.
But he could do it. He could rock it.
I think he could.
Kidding me?
rock it.
Marv's a badass.
Yeah. So now people are going to want stickers of Marv.
I actually purchased a couple brushes for Procreate to try and draw fuzz better.
Oh.
So I'm working on a drawing of
Nice.
for us to use. Yeah.
Nice.
It's in the works. It's
Nice.
coming down the cannon.
Yeah. And maybe we have a shirt. It's Marv's fault.
Yeah. I mean, Marv's the one who's been farting in the mic.
He sounds constipated.
See?
Okay. I don't know if that makes it better or not. And that's a parallel to the hard cuts. I don't know if that made everything better. No, maybe. I don't know. But
That was a hard cut.
yeah, I know. But she didn't. It was awful. Like, I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? And then, okay, let's hear the other part that bothered me. And I can say this. I'm disclaimer. I can say this because I'm Asian. Why does she have to like make fun of say this something a comment about what Kyrie said in her speech and break it down in broken English? That was
weird.
horrible. English.
It was weird. Yeah, and I
It was
wasn't.
very
She.
weird.
Yeah, she. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to trash it much, but like it was. It went on really, really long.
I'll let you trash it because I'm Asian and I'm giving you a yellow card.
Yeah, I don't know if that's how the IWC would see it, but
well, I don't care. So it's okay.
She was like stumbling over words anyways. I feel like you just recut it. It was really long for what it was. It makes you wonder how much they actually recorded. And like I said, it felt like interview style, but then they played it like it was promo style, and I felt like that discombobulated it, which didn't do her any favors. But then the stumbling over her own words was worse because you could tell it was a pre-tape, and you go, okay, just re-say it. But
they didn't give her enough cuts to do it.
Yeah.
And you know what that is? Goodbye.
Yeah.
That was also insulting too. But
the Kari is so kawaii with the little peace sign. I was like, ooh, he's definitely coming in as a heel.
Yep. And I don't know what's worse, JR saying Oriental or this. It hasn't triggered me yet. So I think JR saying Oriental is still on top. But the minute that Monè, Banky Monè, or whatever the frick, like bank on Monè or whatever the fuck she wants to say, then I'll get all her. But
I'm hoping she gets a lot of heat from it, like in a good way. I hope that she gets booed out of the building and stuff, and people are like, nah. I know. I don't think she will.
Everybody wanted Sasha Banks. She's not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not. She's not going to. Because people are going. When she was on Wrestle Kingdom, people went and bought the shit out of those tickets because people want to see her.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And I'll give you the show back. There you go.
No, still your show. What'd you want to hit next?
No, it's not my show.
Yeah, it is.
Just because Kiro said it.
Yeah, Kiro's been right about a lot of stuff, except for the off-script bullshit. That's not been true. Bishop's in the chat, and he's booing. He's booing for sure.
Okay. This is a good time to maybe talk about heavy stuff.
Okay. And then in case Bishop just showed up, you got a little birthday shout out at the beginning. You should go back and listen to the beginning at another date. And I'll get the audio up tonight so that way you can listen to it tomorrow. I know he likes the audio.
Yeah. And also Bishop too. Yeah. When you hear it, I'm just forewarning you. Yeah. Travis. Yeah.
What?
Thursday.
Said it like that.
No, I'm just well, kind of
yeah.
There too, but.
So me and Bishop, we talked about it earlier. We almost had like two little breakdowns about it because of just, I mean, especially his closeness. He lives about 30 minutes away from where all that happened. He's lived in Delaware for quite some time. Obviously, Jay Briscoe was Pugh. Is it James Pugh? Was that his real name? James Pugh? I don't want to be disrespectful. I just don't have it up.
It's like Jamin.
I think it's Jamin. That's what it is. Jamin Pugh. And I just don't have it in front of me, and I just keep thinking of him as Jay Briscoe. I just have for a long time. But you know, kind of grew up together in the same areas and stuff. That he didn't know him, but they lived like very close and went to competing high schools and stuff like that. So he was a little closer to the whole thing. And so he talked about it, and then he had a number of interactions on Twitter, which I was not on Twitter at all for any of it. So I didn't see some of the stuff he was seeing. And so I gave him a lot of the floor for that, and I'm happy I did. And he gave me the floor, and I talked about it. But I just don't want to reiterate too much of what I said before. But I do want to give you the chance, because Jay has been a big impact to most wrestling fans who've ever been exposed to him at all. And you being a big Ring of Honor person, it's not like you haven't been fully aware of him for quite some time. So
yeah,
absolutely.
I will say, when I heard, the immediate thing was I was shocked.
Yeah.
Now, I had only heard that he had passed, and no one had. How I saw it was, I got a text message from somebody, and I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?"
Me too.
No idea, because I'm at a work function, so I didn't.
Someone texted me and said Jay Briscoe died, but they spelled it like Jay and Briscoe is like one word, but it was just the letter J, and I thought it was a typo. I thought they meant Gerald Briscoe, so I said Gerald Briscoe died, and they said no, and then they sent a picture of Jay, and I was like, "Fuck." So yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it's, as a person who's watched Ring of Honor, because it's obviously how I first saw them, it's shocking to me, because 38 is such a young age,
It's how old I am. It's how old Bishop was until last week.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where we just saw them at Final Battle with that really great match against FTR. And, they started advertising Super Card of Honor, and they're right on the poster, just days before. So it's kind of surreal and weird. And I almost kind of, in its own way, I was like, you know what? I want to go back, watch some matches on Honor Club that I remember.
Yeah.
That, they've had some really great matches with, the Bucks, and I know you don't like the Bucks, but this was in the heyday of the Bucks, and seeing them. And I think they did stuff with Steen, I believe. I have to go back in the catalog.
Oh, that'd be cool to find.
Steen, El Generico, Do
you think Steen and Generico face them as a team? Steen and Generico versus the Briscoes?
I think so.
That would be amazing to find out.
Yeah, I think so. I have to go back and look. I want to say yes, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just kind of man, because it always is one of those things where when a wrestler dies, usually it's been because it was drugs or alcohol. And this one, it's like it's a car accident, and it's very shocking. And he had his kids with him, and I think that for me, it's like, man, that's such a loss for one, just wrestling in general, and two, they're a staple of Ring of Honor. I don't care, what people may think of like their beliefs or whatever. They are Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And as current tag team champions, this one's kind of hard. Like, what do you do? Do you make a memorial kind of tournament night right now that you have like a tournament of tag team wrestling? Do you,
Maybe like how NXT has the Dusty Cup?
Yeah.
Maybe Briscoe boots or some shit,
Or something. I don't know, like a Raiders, no, they'd have to copyright. But anyways, I don't think Tony Khan would do that because, conflicting interest.
Oh, Bishop, he mentioned this earlier. I didn't look it up yet, though. I didn't have time. Or I mean, I guess I had time. I just didn't do it. He says, KO said that Steen and Generico versus the Briscoes was their first big break in the U.S. He talked about it on his Twitter post about it. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Just the impact. I mean, a lot of people didn't like them for, some of their beliefs and comments.
Yeah.
And my thing is, it's like, they were, I think, I was able to look past that.
Yeah.
And I think that they are probably one of the best tag teams ever. Like, I can put them up in that pedestal just because some of the matches I've seen, and just they were amazing. And plus, I had the pleasure to meet him. Always super, super nice and polite. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, I want to share a little story because it reminds, like, when I think of, I would hear his name, it would make me think of this story of, I got to hang out with Party Marty's girl once in Vegas, and I was getting late and I was tired, and I'm like, okay, Marty's needs someone to kind of watch him. And that was kind of my thing, because I was making sure he's okay. So I actually asked Shane Taylor, I'm like, can you watch him? Because no one else is going to do it. And he goes, okay. I went, and on my way to my room, I was hungry. I went to go get tacos. I hear a commotion, and I'm like, that's coming from where I just was.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go back and investigate. Lo and behold, apparently, and I only know this because I had to call security because we thought we saw something in our room, in the bed. So we had to have someone come up and look, and they brought security. And I had on a t-shirt. I had a villain shirt on. The guy was like, and you could see Marty in the shirt. It wasn't one of those drawing ones. And the guy was like, oh, I just saw that guy. And I'm like, oh, you did? Like, oh, at the wrestling match? And he was like, no. He was wrestling some other like homeless looking man in the casino. And I'm like, oh my God. It made me think about that. Shout out to fast forward to the next morning or next afternoon. Marty asked me, he looked like horrible. And I'm like, how are you feeling? And he's like, oh, and he just kind of leans into me and he says, I don't remember really anything. And I go, okay. And he says, I can't find my wallet because it's got my ID in there and I can't go home. And he said, can't find my wallet. Don't know what happened to it on my ID. I lost $1,000. And I'm like, oh, I think I might know where your wallet is. And then he said, did I wrestle Jay Briscoe last night by slot machines? And I was like, rumor has it you did. He was like, why? I don't know. But apparently I found out from Shane Taylor, who wasn't drinking that night. The two of like Marty, all of a sudden, the two of them were trying to say like who was the better wrestler, who was the tougher guy. And that's where it started out. So both of them were very drunk. When Shane Taylor told me that story, I was like, holy shit. And he said, yeah, he said the bad part was there were too many drunk people around, and he was the only one that was not, who was sober. That, yeah, he said he was trying to break it down, because they didn't want the security to came. So they apparently broke that party down. It was like, no.
So there was no definitive winner?
There was no definitive winner.
Okay.
Yeah. But I always think of that because Marty was just like, oh my God. And then I'll always remember because when we were talking about that, Brody King and PCO were behind him, and Brody was laughing, and PCO just was shaking his head in like disapproval. And I'm like, oh my God. And I couldn't look at Jay Briscoe that night during Ring of Honor because I was just kind of like chuckling, like, you and Marty were drunk wrestling in the casino. Are you guys stupid? Yeah. So that's always going to be my favorite memory. But there's a lot of great matches. So if you've never seen them wrestle, please go back and take a look. It's worth your time. I'm excited that they're doing a tribute show and how reactive it was, because yes, they did film it in Fresno yesterday, and Tony says there's going to be more to come. But I also didn't like how Tony has said that, you know, he wants to make sure that he's basically going to treat the Briscoe, like Jay, like how he did with Brody Lee. I have a problem with that, because if he thought that they were such a great talent, why weren't they on AEW? Why didn't you put them on Rampage? Why did you just keep them in the back? And this is something nobody's talking about. And
well, everyone's putting the blame on Warner Brothers. And I think here's the other thing that bothers me about it is just that the only person who's been giving that information is Dave Meltzer, which means that Dave Meltzer's being told by Tony Khan. Which does that mean it's true or not? I don't know.
No, I don't.
But the idea is that Warner Brothers, because of those tweets, is the reason why they didn't want to ever bring them on or talk about them or show them. And that's why you couldn't sign them. At the same time, like, it's like you said, you could have also signed him to an AEW contract and had him on all the non-TBS shows or TNT shows. You could have had him on other versions. And it also seems like the other people they have on that show who have accusations against them, who have said wicked stuff. I mean, just the other stuff. I mean, you could even just take the things that MJF says week to week, and they're worse than any tweets they put out. So it just isn't the same. Like, it doesn't feel like, it feels like there's something missing there as far as where that truth lies.
And also, too, I'm really sick of the IWC who are like, oh my God, you know, he's a racist and all that, and causing drama and stirring a pot. But these are the first people who jumped to say, you know, rest in peace, and, you know, he was a good man. Well, he's always been a good man. But when you conveniently wanted to, I don't know, have an agenda or whatnot, no, it doesn't work like that. I'm just hating this double standard. I always have. And it upsets me because it's like, you know what? He was a damn fucking great performer. I think I summed it up on my tweet yesterday. Great performer. Nicest guy. It's just a shame. So prayers to his family, because that's a rough situation. I feel for his wife. I hope she has strength during this time, because that's hard, because there's children involved. And I don't have children, so I can't really say, but that's hard. You lose, you know, kind of the love of your life, and then you have one child who's in critical condition, and you don't know what's going to happen. So I think that, you know, that's kind of a bummer in it itself. So
I mean, just to put it mildly, it's a bummer. I mean, her whole life is turned upside down in the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Realistically, like, that was it. Like, they're going to go to cheerleading practice. They're going to come home and have dinner and better have this ready. And next thing you know, you get a phone call, you know, it's unimaginable for people like you and me who don't have kids.
Yeah.
And as
And
someone, I'm the same exact age, and I can only imagine if producer lady were to get a similar phone call, how hard that would be without kids. So it's just insane, man. It's insane. Like,
Yeah.
and it sucks and it's sad, and I just wish that people were a little more open to people being able to change and grow and be better, because I feel like that was always what he was trying to do, and
he was.
the way he treated people. Because the other thing is like how someone treats someone is like their real form of character, right? And how they treat the majority, right? You can, like, I know a lot of religious people. I've got religious people in my family who don't think certain things are along what they believe through their doctrine, but they treat every single person, regardless of what they do and what they believe, like they're a valuable person who deserves love. And I feel like that Briscoe was the same way, from every account that I've heard from people who could easily have said, like, yeah, he was rude to me and maybe it was because of XYZ. That just never came up, because for him, it didn't matter what he believed. It just mattered who you are, right? Like, because also his beliefs don't have to be yours, you know? And we've talked about before, separation of church and state is to protect the religious from having their beliefs without imposing them on other people. Like, that can be a thing. Believe what you want, but treat people like they believe whatever they want to, you know? And so, yeah, I've always been I was pretty banged up about it, just thinking about the lost opportunities for him
and his family.
his
And not
family.
only that too, but now there's a video. I guess he filmed this like during the pandemic, where one of his, I don't know if this is the daughter that's in critical condition or not, but he was doing her cheerleader moves with her. It's such a sweet video. I mean, I bawled my eyes out.
Yeah.
And I did have a moment where after I heard
mentioned
it, I kind of cried a little bit, and I watched one of their matches, and it's just one of those things where it's like, wow, you know, it's a lot. It's really sad, and it's something to take in. And I think that, you know, this is one that's it's gonna hurt. I mean, and especially because most of that the talent that's at AEW right now, they all knew him, and they knew him well. So for years and years and years and years. So that's that's another bummer too about it. So, but prayers to you guys. May be strong, rest in power.
Yeah.
And, you know, bottoms up.
Yeah, I had a special cast bourbon spawn that I was saving some for on the drink. So
yeah, that was the special you were saving.
Yeah. But yeah, and I mean, and I think that there's a lot of people out there talking about his matches, and I think it's a good thing, and I think it's he was believable as all could be.
Yeah.
But
and I will say too that even in ROH's shitty period, the time when I said was the decline of ROH, they still the quality of their wrestling was still there. That's one thing that just was not, you know, if there was anything strong, that was strong all up in there. So
yeah, they made me buy into GCW. It was the first match when I went there. They were in a tag team match. I'm trying to remember who it was, because I want to say it was like Juicy and Jacob or something crazy. Because I remember just thinking like, whoa,
they did wrestle them.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. They were the opening match, and it was insane.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, bought me in. So, yeah, obviously thoughts, prayers, condolences, everything that you do, good juju, just pushing of love, energies into the world, that direction, whatever your version of that is, be it prayer, meditation, or otherwise, that's the direction it ought to go in.
And there is a GoFundMe.
Is
that
there?
has started. Yes. Only reason why I saw it because it was on Marty's Instagram. So
yeah.
I don't know who started it. But
I don't know either. Tony did say in his tweet that whatever the family needed, he would take care of. So hopefully he's a big donator in that GoFundMe, if nothing else.
he should do more than that if he says he wants to see this like fucking Brody Lee. I'm not saying give his wife a job or anything, but it's like, you know what? like at least in Ring of Honor, since he owns it, you need to put something to cement that the legacy of the Briscoes.
You know, it'd be cool because they wrestled in Ring of Honor like the whole time, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No one wanted
put together a Master Collection DVD.
They've had
all
some.
the Ring of Honor matches,
but all of them though. Yeah, no, they should.
Yes, I mean, like at this point, because I mean, it's shitty to say, but you'll never have a Briscoe Brothers match again. So at this point, put it all in one thing. Every Ring of Honor one, because I don't know if they have rights to GCW or not. Maybe he could get some of those too. I don't know how they even taped, but like put together a Master Ring of Honor Briscoe Brothers story, like big DVD of all of it.
I think at WrestleCon this year, because part of the collective is they do the Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping they induct the Briscoes this year.
Yeah.
Is it too soon? I don't think so.
I don't know.
What is too soon? You have to ask yourself that. But I think that would be a great tribute.
I think that would be good. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah. So it'd be good to get out of this little funky bummer. Talk to me about the show you saw last week.
Let me talk to you.
Yeah.
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 Let me see.
Who's the champion?
Yeah. So United Wrestling came to Tempe, or no, it wasn't Tempe. Mesa. It was Mesa. Yeah. A venue we'd never seen, never even heard of. Pull up, and it's like a multi-venue. Like there's a softball field, and there's a baseball diamond, and there's a soccer field, and there's this weird little area in the back, and then there's like a gymnastics area. Like it was a strip of like all possible athletic things. And we thought, how cool and how weird and how bad is this parking? Because it also so happens that it wasn't just that show that night. There was a couple of games. And we got half off. We got what, half off?
The tickets?
The tickets were half off through VetTix. Also, big shout out and thanks to VetTix for partnering with them to do that. And I mean, it's also just thank you to United for doing that, because they even mentioned it. You know, they thanked the veterans for coming out via VetTix, which means that they were actively involved in knowing that happened. And the reason I say that specifically is because we've now been through a number of shows through VetTix where the performers didn't know that their tickets were available in Netflix or VetTix. VetTix. They didn't know. And what VetTix is if you're a veteran, you prove that you're a veteran through their system and their thing, and then you get availability to these. And a lot of times it's something like you're paying the service charge and not the ticket price. So it's like $14 service charge. How many tickets do you need? Anywhere from 1 to 4. All you pay is that one service charge. And it's really cool. So we check it out. Sometimes we take friends. Sometimes we go together. Sometimes they only offer one ticket and we discuss, does one of us go alone? Go ahead.
You saw an elderly family there.
Yep.
He was wearing the same shirt as me.
Yeah. As there was an old man walking in, she's like, I think I see a vet. And then as he took a turn, you could just see the shirt VetTix, and we're like, yes. Because the other thing VetTix likes is they like when you take a picture of you at the show, so you can post it, and they like it when you have the little VetTix on there because you can say, look it, we do it, it works, right? And at one point when they were between matches and the recordings, because they recorded 3 shows, they thanked everyone and said, thank you, vets. And like I said, a number of people we've seen have not known. I have a couple of friends who we saw perform. We hadn't seen in a long time, and we got their tickets through there. And I told them, I was like, oh, I didn't realize you guys would have done that. And they said, what is that? I had no idea. Never heard of it. So we just don't know the rhyme or reason of when they do. And it was really cool to know that they knew and did it on purpose. So with that in mind, they'd sold over 1,000 tickets in Tempe, which is incredible. Not Tempe, Mesa, which is incredible. It was the biggest turnout I've been to any independent show. There was more people there than any of the GCW shows I've been to.
Marquez had to turn people away.
Yeah, Marquez was told not to sell any more tickets. They had to stop. And he goes, but we're still selling tickets. And they said, we don't want you to. Because they were unsure of the crowd being so big. And he had bleachers set up. And, I mean, there's 1,000 people there. So it wasn't like It wasn't like there was a ton of open seating, but you could have squeezed an extra 100 people in there, no problem. So yeah, he was pissed that he wasn't able to keep selling.
Promoter, what do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Yeah, he's a promoter. That's what he wants. But he was really pissed. They wouldn't let him sell. But they had Johnny LaQuasto there doing the thing, announcing stuff. They had a really good turnout, and it was just a really good show. Of all the independent shows I've been to, especially in Arizona, this was easily my favorite one. It felt the biggest. This felt like independent WrestleMania. Or Royal Rumble, really, because there was a Battle Royal with 30 guys. A lot of families.
Yeah. This wasn't a Amanda card.
Yes.
Let's let them know what was on the card. This was pure me. And I'm sad that I couldn't go.
There were some people that I could tell were a big deal, but didn't know their name, but recognized something about them. And so I sent you pictures, and you just responded with who their name was. You're like, oh, I can't believe this person's there. And I was like, knew it. I knew she'd know. She knew right away. Like, remember those dudes who came in with, I think it was when Ospreay won or lost or whatever. Or no, when Kip Sabian won. Those guys came in. I saw the logo of that shirt on someone's gear, and I sent it to you because I was like, well, I know she likes that team. She's got to know who that is. And you're like, is that who was it? Who was the guy?
It was shit. Why am I blanking out right now? I see them. Text me the picture again.
No, I'm just gonna scroll up to when I sent it to you because you responded with it.
Okay.
But there's a lot of people. Bad Dude Tito.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there was Willie Mack in a fatal 4-way that had let's see, we had Ortiz, we had Ortiz versus Hammerstone. That was one match.
Talk to me.
Like, that was so good. I know producer lady had a little bit of a size issue with Ortiz being kind of small, but that dude's jacked and looks like stone. You know what I mean? Like, he reminds me of some of those little badasses I used to see in prison.
But producer lady.
Yeah, first time I liked him.
Yeah.
Yeah, she hasn't liked him almost at all on AEW at all, but she liked him here. She thought he fit in well and did well and put over other people. And
yeah, but producer lady, him next to Hammerstone, Jesus Christ! If anybody, okay, first of all, if Hornswoggle
standing next to Hammerstone did him no favors, correct?
Yeah, but if Hornswoggle stood next to Hammerstone, that would be like Andre the Giant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but also because he is so big and his thighs, because he's been working the thighs. Yeah, his thighs are probably as thick as Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah. But it was crazy. It was good. Let's see. Janela was in a match. Who was the 4-way against? I showed you. Colt Cabana only showed up for the Battle Royal. He did as little as he could and got away with it. Let's see. We had Tito and Willie Mack against, and that was the fatal 4-way. Tito, Willie Mack, Joey Janela, and the captain, Sean Dean. What are you doing?
Hold on. I thought you text messaged me.
No, I didn't text message you. I'm pulling up from before. I already found it.
Oh.
I'm showing you the stuff. I'm telling you. What are you looking at? Why I already sent it? I'm looking at what I sent you.
Oh, okay. Well, show me what you sent me.
Why would I show you? I already sent it. Why do you?
Because I don't have your text in my thing.
It's fine. I'm telling you.
I know, but I want to look at the picture and I'll tell you right away. Unless you're.
I'm telling you who it is. Captain Sean Dean, Big Bad Tito, Janela, and Willie Mack were in a fatal 4-way, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I sent you the picture of Peter Avalon. He's got a new haircut.
He looked good.
He looked really good. He was in better shape than I've seen him last time. He looked a little bit, his shoulders were even bigger, and he had a really good haircut.
Yeah.
My first thought when he came out, I was like, that's not Peter.
Poor PPA.
Not at all. When he came out, because I thought he was coming out, and I'm not going to pretend I'm somebody that I'm not. That's just not what I do. I went, when's Peter Avalon coming out? I need to go get a beer. Because every match had me stuck to my seat. And I'm just not a big Peter Avalon fan in general. And I don't try to mean that to be disrespectful. He just doesn't connect with me. And what I've seen of his, I understand was what was directed to him to be, but I didn't like the stuff. It was not funny to me. It was super comedy and stuff that I didn't enjoy. I do know that David Marquez has gone on Twitter and even said, Peter Avalon's a total package. He can do whatever you want him to do. He can be as serious as a heart attack. He can be as funny as a clown. anything you see him do, it's because that's what that promoter needs that night, and he's an absolute pro. So I'm sure Peter Avalon's also an awesome dude and cool guy to work with. That said, I didn't know what we were going to get here, and I was a few matches in, and I really wanted another beer. So I went and got a beer. But I snapped you a picture because he looked great. I was like, man,
he looked great.
he looks awesome. And I didn't want to miss any of the Battle Royal. That was my other thing.
And I will say, because Peter Avalon has a long-standing history with working with Marquez on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood for over a decade. So definitely, you know, they'll always have that relationship. And I think that if they didn't make him really gimmicky, I think he would have probably lasted a lot longer with AEW.
I agree. I do agree. The way they booked him and the way they did it, it was terrible for him.
Yeah.
Who did Kingston fight?
Oh,
It was a notable person. Super notable. Danny Limelight.
Yeah.
Oh.
Danny Limelight against Eddie Kingston. Fantastic. The thing that bugged me about this, and this is a knock on AEW, and I'll tell you this, we might even get to AEW or NXT tonight. I don't care if we do or don't. Because Eddie Kingston made his entrance while I was like 2 more people to get to the front of the line to get my drink. And the group behind me, their gorilla was wide open. Where the concession stands was behind gorilla, and you could see the monitors. So you could see who was watching the matches and stuff. It was pretty cool, but it was also funny. So they're sitting there and they're looking and they see, and it's Eddie Kingston. They give him the mic for a second. He says a couple things, and people behind me go, Eddie Kingston from, isn't that the guy on AEW? And the guy goes, yeah, he's a jobber over there. He doesn't win anything. And then the girl that was with him was all like, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him win. And then they're like, yeah, so I guess he's going to put over somebody tonight. They just thought of him as just as a jobber. They literally called him a jobber. And I was like, fuck, man, it's Eddie Kingston. We used to chant, stab him up. You know what I mean? Like, insane. So that bothered me.
Fault.
Because that's all it is. It's 100% Tony Khan's fault.
Sparkler Gate. Enough said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he fucked with his credibility. But at the same time, the crowd overall, huge response for him. They were chanting for him. We heard chants for Hammerstone. People were behind him. There was this guy in there, Fat Boy. I don't know what his other name was.
Wait, Fat Boy. Bald.
Yes.
Like he looks like he's like Dominican or Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, like known, like almost like a juggernaut, like the comic book style neck where it goes from ear to shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there and he was awesome. And the crowd was super behind him.
Let me tell you,
it's also funny. Go
he's
ahead.
From the Bay Area. He used to tag team. Yeah, he used to tag team with another guy named Sin. I don't know what happened to Sin, but his name is Papa Esco. Goes by Fat Boy, and he it was great because he was in a stable at APW with MVP.
Yeah,
and it's great to see a lot of these guys that he was one of Roland Alexander. He was trained by Roland Alexander. But it's great to kind of see that kind of stuff because these are guys that, you know, they might not have made it into big time, but, you know, he's done New Japan Strong, I believe, just like JR Kratos. And, you know, and it's pretty exciting to see these guys. So that's cool. I didn't realize he was in the Rumble. The
red carpet Rumble. Yeah, it was great. There was a few local guys in there too. EJ Sparks is a local guy who's getting a lot of, and the crowd was behind him. Because we know him out here, man. He's one of our guys. There's a guy, Gino. Oh my God, I forgot Gino's last name the other day too, and I remembered it later. But a local guy, Gino, got put over big time by Eddie and Ortiz, which was really cool. Because after that match with Danny Limelight, it was basically, I don't want to give too many spoilers here, but there ended up being a lot of people in the ring and kind of a melee back and forth, and Eddie kind of looks around like. Because Eddie was in the match, obviously. So he's like looking around who's cool, what's what. And then one of our local guys was with Ortiz. Eddie grabs the mic and like looks at Ortiz and says, Homicide said these guys are good. Do you think they're good? And the guy was like, yeah, they're good. And then he's like, okay. And then they all like stood there with a Puerto Rican flag and they were pointing and posing and he's putting them over. He was like pointing at Limelight. Like Eddie was there to make that promotion better for him being there. He wasn't there to get himself over.
That's not his style.
Yeah, absolutely.
Neither
That's
is
what I
being a
thought.
bitch, but
Yeah. And it was good. It was a good match. There was a lot there. There was a team, the Midnight Hours. No, it's the Midnight Heat.
Those are friends of the show.
Friends of the show, Midnight Heat. They follow us. I hope they listen to us because I was really impressed. To be honest, I hadn't seen them wrestle. They just were on my Twitter feed, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, a couple wrestlers that followed us here and there, and they were another group of wrestlers, and so we followed them back, and I'm like, they're doing cool stuff. That's dope. Didn't realize it till they came out. I was like, oh my God, those are the guys. Producer ladies telling me like those are them. I was really impressed. Because they were the first match. The first match, it was booked perfectly. This show. The first one was like two baby faces. It's Marquez, dude. The first match was two baby faces just trying to out wrestle each other.
Yeah.
And at first I was all like, this is weird. Why would you do two baby faces? And I realized it's because they're warming up the crowd.
Yep. And it's
You know
the
what I mean?
brilliant mind of Dave Marquez, because let's go there. NWA, once he was gone, was trash.
It's felt different ever since he was gone, one way or the other. Whether you liked or didn't like what he was doing, his presence is felt. And it's missing. You know what I mean? Like he does it differently for sure. But then they were one of the big teams that I think they were the second match, and it was one of the ones where like you could tell the characters right away. You knew who was good and who was bad and who you wanted to win and stuff. So it was just cool. And Marquez at one point they cut a commercial for some sort of car wash thing. It wasn't even Car Shield, it was a car wash. And so their mascot's a duck. And it's this giant duck, Quackles, comes out, and the crowd was hot for the show at this point.
Wait, is that the it's like called Ducky Car Wash?
Yes.
Okay, because they have those here. Because when you were like Quackles, I'm like, wait, that sounds like Ducky Car Wash. Anyways.
Yep, that's them.
Okay.
One of the wrestlers was in that outfit, and I don't know who it was.
That's what you were talking about.
That's all I was asking. Is Colt Cabana Quackles? Because the dude was doing the Hogans, he was doing moves. At one point, someone comes out and he stuns them, and it's really cool. But like, what I loved about it is it was funny because like Marquez was laughing because he's like, Quackles, you're the biggest star of the night, because the crowd was insane. Because every match built off the match before it, and I've been to so many indie shows that are such a mess. I forgot how good a well-booked show gets you more and more rowdy. You just can't help but be drawn in and give that performer everything you got. And by the time Quackles came out as our intermission, we were just everyone just on our feet screaming for this fucking duck. Like, let's do it. We want the duck. Like, it was amazing. We were chanting quack, just quack, 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 quack. It was amazing. I could hardly hear him with the mic.
I didn't think you liked this comedy bullshit in wrestling.
But that wasn't comedy bullshit. That was a commercial in the middle of your show.
Okay.
And that's different. You know what I mean? Like, no one bought that Quackles was a legitimate wrestler who might be Stone Cold. They didn't have a competitive match.
You don't know who was in Quackles, okay?
I think it was Colt. Now, here's the other thing.
Okay.
They have a character who is comedy and shitty. And I was like, his name was Crying Brian. And I was like, he was booked perfectly tonight because he was just enough comedy. He comes out and he goes like, and it's like really cartoonish and like a child. Well, he goes in there and Quackles beats him up, and it was great. And then in the Battle Royal, he comes out and gets the Bushwhacker spot thrown out right away and starts crying, throws a fit and jumps up and down. And I was like, that's exactly how you do a comedy act. You don't need to focus on it for 30 minutes. You know what I mean? But it was a really good time. Anytime United Wrestling is available or around, it's something you definitely should be checking out, anybody who's listening. But yeah, it was good. One of the things that happened, Marquez, I want to throw this out there. He comes out in between a couple things and says, 33 years in the business, and he's seen a lot, been through a lot, and has been pretty jaded. And he said he's been jaded lately. and that the Arizona crowd really made him feel better about a lot of this stuff. And as he kind of wraps up what he was saying, because, we got this much time left for doing this. Thanks for bearing with me. And he was like, I want to come back. He goes, you're a better audience than LA. It was funny. But as he's walking away, the crowd just starts chanting, thank you, David, clap, clap, clap. Thank you, David, clap, clap, clap. And they're getting louder and louder. And you can see him. He's walking out of the ring. He's going to the side. And he's just walking towards the curtain. And that's when he starts to realize what's happening. And he stops, kind of looks over his shoulder. It's almost like a movie. He looks over his shoulder and then just kind of like realizes what's happening and smiles and turns around. And he plays into the camera a little bit. And he looks at everyone and says, thank you and stuff, and goes back. But it was nice. You could tell on his face. It was heartwarming. I don't know if he's ever gotten a chant like that, especially not from 1,000 people.
No.
So,
No.
yeah, I was really proud to be a part of that audience. I was really happy because I was trying to get the chant going. I didn't know if it would go or not, because the dude's amazing. I think he's a really cool guy. He's done a lot of cool shit. I got a chance to talk to him after the show. And I asked him, I was all like, do you plan to ever write like a book about all this stuff? And he goes, oh, no, absolutely not. And I was all like, you can keep out some of the controversy. And he goes, no, I'm all about the controversy. I would keep it all. And he goes, I just don't think that there's that big of a demand or a want for it. And I was like, I think that people just don't know enough about you to show you there's that demand. But hopefully we can convince him when he retires. And he wants to retire in a couple of years.
I believe Colt interviewed him for his podcast. I think he did. It was one of the early on ones. I'll go in Patreon and see if I can fish it out.
If you can find it, let me know, because I have a feeling that I'll be able to do an interview with him soon, and it would be nice to hear what was in that one first.
Oh, good. Absolutely. Yeah, no.
But it was really cool. Such a good time. It was my favorite Arizona show I've ever been to, and I've been to a bunch. And it felt big. It felt like a Royal Rumble. Like an independent Royal Rumble. And I don't mean that just because it was a battle royal. I mean, the crowd was big and it was hot and it was into it and it felt legit. And so many indie shows out here feel like an indie show where you go, oh yeah, the promoter's that guy over there. You know what I mean? Like,
The crowd was just there to have fun. It wasn't anyone shitting on some other company or some specific performer. Like,
yeah, I was wearing the Sami Zayn My Dog shirt. We saw like 2 other people wearing it too. And we're like, my dog. Like, it was fucking great, man. People with AEW jackets, people with WWE shirts. It was like, hey, we're all here because we all like stuff like this.
This was your first time seeing Colt wrestle, correct?
No, because he wrestled at Hard Times.
No, he didn't.
He didn't wrestle at Hard Times?
He was not under contract that season. No.
No shit, then no, I didn't see him live.
Okay.
So then this would have been the first time I saw him wrestle, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really? He wasn't at any of the other shows? Huh. Yeah, because Hard Times was the only NWA show I went to. So
yeah, he wasn't on that year. You saw Flipper.
Yeah. That's right, because
Marty do his 2 things. And Marty wrestled.
Who was the North American champ at the time? Was it Trevor at the time?
North American champ was no, because Trevor wrestled Ricky for the
TV.
Yeah, I think North American champ.
Oh, was it Aaron Stevens?
Yes,
I think it was. Yeah, and question mark, but
yeah.
You're right. Yeah, so that was the first time I got to see him wrestle live. I mean, it was in the Battle Royal. He was in there for a good amount of time. He did a couple fun spots. He did his elbows and stuff. And I sent you a picture just a little bit ago so you can check it out. Somebody, not positive who, gave him a chop that left a handprint that you can see.
I saw that.
You could see the bumps on the fingers, like.
You know, of all the years I've seen Colt wrestle live, I've seen him get chopped plenty of time.
Yeah.
I've never seen someone with a handprint like that on his chest.
Yeah.
That must have been really sounding like a shotgun because, ooh.
Yeah. I told producer lady that I feel like that because it was bad. Like the hand was, you could, from where we were sitting, we sat up top because we're like, fuck it, we'll just sit up top. We could see the prints between the fingers, like the lines and everything. It's like, if I can see it from here, that's bad.
That's when I looked in the photo because it wasn't like you zoomed in on him. I was like, holy fuck. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I've never seen anything like that on him.
It's insane. I told her, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if Colt smiles at him and says, "I'll see you down the road," and receipts on the way. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
No, but
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, but I
Little
will
chop
say,
coming his way later on down in the road.
yeah, I will say that he's let me chop the wrestler during his match before. I've only chopped somebody once, and this was the time. And I left a handprint. I really did upper hand.
I did meet Colt after the show. Janela was real quick. He was like in a hurry and wasn't feeling hanging.
Yeah.
But it was funny because I walked up to Colt. I thought you'd like this one. Car Shield was sponsoring the show, right? It's Marquez. Car Shield's the one, right?
Yeah.
He was wearing a Car Shield jacket, and someone walked up right as I was kind of walking up, and they said, "What are you wearing a Car Shield jacket for? What do you work for them or something?" And before he even answered, I was all like, "You're telling me someone doesn't offer him a free jacket, he won't take it?" I was like, "I would take a free jacket." And Cole says, "Yeah, see, this guy gets it. He knows exactly what's going on."
Oh God! Oh boy!
Yeah,
that's
so,
the charm of Colt Cabana. I don't know if it's because you heard a lot. Y'all have heard a lot of my stories. Bitsy, Marsh gets it.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Colt was like, this guy.
Yeah, he gets it.
Yeah.
I also remember I told you I might show up with an 8x10 of him as Brooklyn Brawler and have him sign it.
Mm-hmm.
He already has them. Yeah, he already has them. He got a bunch of them.
Hello. This is okay. I've said it once. I've said it twice. I've said it before on episode 1. I've been saying it since episode 1. He is the godfather of modern independent wrestling.
Yeah.
He's the one who started doing this.
Oh, yeah.
Why wouldn't he have 8x10s of him as the Brooklyn Brawler? I got to.
You know what else he did?
For Christ's sake! What else?
So when you're leaving the where the seating is, right as you get past the seating, past the bleachers, all of the tables for the talent to sit on were over to your right, behind a thing. So you had to walk 20 feet to get to the table.
He was right there, huh?
No. Colt took a table and dragged it all the way over so it would be right front and center where the exit is, so no one would have to walk to the side to find him. He was the only person you saw. So as soon as you leave, there was a line of people just stacked for Colt because they're like, "Oh, Colt Cabana's right here." And I went over because I was letting the line die down. I went over to the side and I heard some people talking. A couple of the talent were over there, and they're like, "Colt's table's over there. Like, how did he get his table?" And he's like, "He took it over there." Like, Colt knows what he's doing. He wanted to be the first person they saw. And I was like, there's a fucking line over there. Like, no one got as much stuff done as him because he was, as soon as he was out of the Rumble, he was right there. If you're leaving, you're going to see me and you're going to see my merch.
That's a fucking boss right there. Okay.
Yeah.
That's next level shit. And if you little indie fucks, who don't like him in your team, Phil, you need to learn something from the man. Kiss the fucking ring. I
thought it was cool too. And I walked up and I was like, "How much is the thing?" He goes, $20 for anything on the table. And I was like, "All right, let's see."
Oh, if he had said that to me, I'm like, "Oh, so I can give you $20 for you?"
He's not on the table.
I'd have someone go and knock him over so he'd be on the table. There
was a young woman with Down syndrome who also had a boot on, with a broken ankle boot, who was looking at him and, oh my god. And her parents were like, it's cool. And she's like, I don't know. And at one point, and he just looks over and he goes, "Hey, what's going on?" And she looks over, and is like, "Oh." And so he waves her over. He talked to her for a while. They're taking pictures, and he was like, "What's your name?" and talking to her. And she was just overwhelmed. She was shaking, almost like hyperventilating, waving off her thing. And then I start talking to him once they're kind of over, and he sees her walk by again, and he calls her by her name and goes, "Hey," and she comes back, and he has the little micro brawler pin that they made, and he goes, "This is a little gift for you from me." And she was like, "Oh my god," she couldn't believe it.
He's the best.
Yeah,
he's the best. And
I saw an opportunity to make someone's experience an extremely high level, and he didn't hesitate.
He's the best.
He didn't hesitate at all.
No. That's why people are give me shit about him. I'm like, he's the best. Some people might not like him because they're Team Phil. Some people might not like his wrestling. There's a lot of people who don't want him to come up to fucking San Francisco because I want him to be there because he's my favorite.
Yeah.
Above all else. He's the fucking best, dude. He's the best.
I was impressed because I've encountered a lot of wrestlers over time, and some people you can tell are giving you the time of day because you're paying for that time of day. Some people can tell that they're giving you the time of day because they're contractually obligated and they're not allowed to not. And some people you see do everything they can to not give you 3 seconds of their time because, oh my God, it's another fucking fan. And that wasn't Colt at all. He was, any opportunity he had to talk to anybody, he was warm and open. He talked to us about Chicago because I told him about how the soda that you had told me to go pick up for him. I told him, I was like, I owe you a soda. Miss AmsAmandaJayne told me to bring you a Coke Zero. I was
he
like,
didn't roll his eyes at you, did he? When you met everybody,
he just kind of smirked and he goes, yeah. And he goes, well, we call it a pop. And I was like, what? He goes, it's a pop up north. And I was like, that's right, in Chicago. Yeah.
He and I got in an argument
about soda versus pop.
Mm-hmm. And I told him, you know, I'm right. And he's like, you just want me to say that you're right. I go, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah. I'm like, duh.
Yeah.
You know, that's great. I love it. You know what?
But I even told him, I was like, hey, we're thinking about moving to Chicago. And he goes, oh, what part? And so we were talking about it. And so I bring over producer lady. And so she's just shooting the shit with him about Chicago and the areas and what's this place like and that. And he's just like, yeah, this is Chicago. Like he was, you know, giving us a little tour in his mind. Like he was just very, very open. And I was just really impressed with his ability to be that way. Cause
yeah. I love how when he smirked at you, when you said, because you didn't tell me what, that you told me you owed him a soda, but you didn't tell me, like, I wanted you to get him one. But he smirked, he's probably thinking, fuck, she's going to yell at me about the fucking, because he gave me such shit about trying to quit drinking Coke that, you know, because he had went cold turkey for years. And when I saw him drinking a soda on something, I was like, you motherfucker. How dare you? You fucking went back.
That's
you need
funny.
to, yeah. So he's probably why he's smart. Like, yeah, I know. She's gonna fucking yell at me. Exactly.
Yeah. And then now I owe him a pop next time I see him.
And he's probably gonna say next time I see him, did you bring me one? And I'm like, that's on Marsh. That's not on me, bro.
Yeah. That was
I'm like, as I give him like his favorites, a pack of like extra polar ice gum, the big, the little one. And what else? Those are, or I'll buy him Chipotle. I know his Chipotle order. I know his Subway order, you know, whatever. His drinks. If you buy the water, he likes the clementine one.
Yeah.
His favorite. Yeah, no, I know it all. If you buy him Hint, you have to buy him pineapple one. He loves pineapple. And, you know, I know it all. Okay. It's not because I'm a crazy stalker. It's because, you know, that's like some of my dudes, my favorites, I take care of them. I do owe him a Hanukkah gift. I kind of like, I didn't send him one 2 years ago because I was mad at him. And I should have did it after the Jericho cruise. But I did bring a peace offering to him because for the longest couple of times I'd seen him before, I didn't bring him anything. So I was like, when I first saw him, I was like, I have a peace offering for you. And he was like, you do? And I go, reached in my pocket, pulled out a thing. It was a 36 pack of extra polarized gum. And he's like, how did you know I didn't bring any? I'm like, because either A, you were going to think that I was going to bring you some, or B, you should have known better and you know that I was mad at you, or C, you just forgot to get gum. Yeah. Probably with C. And he goes, I go, I was mad at you. I wasn't going to bring you shit. So he's like, oh, thank you. I go, I know. So he's the best. And Janela is awesome. I love Janela. This was your second time seeing Janela or first?
I know I saw him fight in a tag team again with X-Pac.
Oh, that's right. He went to X-Pac. Okay, never mind. That's the one where he went heel, right?
Yeah, he turned heel on him, and that was pretty big. And I think the second GCW show I was on, he was doing something. So I've seen him, and he's impressive. And he was doing really good.
Yoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was looking good. Although he did wrestle in a t-shirt, so it made me wonder if something was up. But But yeah, it was just overall good, and like I was just really happy for it. And I hope Marquez brings it back through here, because like I said, it felt like the most big time independent show ever.
I'll go. And you want to know what happened? We canceled our Christmas because of the storms.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Remember, I told you I couldn't go because my family was deciding to get together on the 14th to do Christmas?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, we canceled it because it was storming so hard, and I was pissed.
He did say something about that. Because when I said that you did it, Colt, because I said that you were sending me the soda, and he goes, she told me she'd be here. And I was like, yeah, it was something to do with family, I think. And he was all like, all right, like, but yeah, he did know that you had said you were going to be there, and I guess you didn't tell him that family thing came up. So,
no, now he's mad at me. Oh no,
I doubt it. He just was expecting that soda, that pop.
I don't know, maybe no, but then again, like I think part of it was maybe expecting a soda, but I haven't seen him since the cruise, so yeah.
But yeah, it was a good time, and really, really happy. I think, and also Dave Marquez gave me so much time, as much time as I wanted.
Oh yeah, he's the best.
Like I told him I wanted to formally introduce myself because of our new connection we've had through some of my other projects I'm working on, that we ended up crossing paths again, and I was like, hey, this is me from that thing, right? So it was really cool, and he was just like all the time in the world, and so hey, we'll talk again soon. So but yeah, Marquez, he's just so fucking cool, man. He's just doing it.
I want to go to Disneyland with Marquez.
I know. Yeah.
Because with his past and his connection with Disney, I would love to go.
Yeah, no one knows more than him.
Yeah.
But was there anything, because we only got a little bit of time left. We got about a half hour before we need to definitely cut it. NXT was a good show. I don't know if there's anything on there specifically you wanted to talk about, or if there was stuff that happened on AEW that you really wanted to talk about.
NXT
had a few returns that were pretty cool.
Yeah.
Gallus and Tyler Bate.
Yeah. Gallus, I enjoyed. I really am excited to see Elektra Lopez and Wendy Chu next week.
Yeah.
That'll be a good one. But again, Booker kind of takes it out again for me. So I kind of am like watching it, but then I'm like, let me just turn the sound off. And so for me, I'm like, hey, I kind of am, looking forward again to seeing, Waller and Braun Breaker again.
Yeah.
That'll be very good.
That's true.
And I think that, it was good. It's been better than it has been. Yeah. Nothing stood out to me, just the fact that it was better than it has been.
Yeah.
So that was pleasing to me.
Yep.
AEW had a little bit more to talk about. So
yeah, I felt like that too. Like I felt like NXT was a solid show. They did a nice job. They had that zoom in on Vic talking about Jay Briscoe, and
it was very classy.
Very classy, especially from a company that never had them under their umbrella.
And they never wanted them.
I don't think that's true. I thought they were offered an NXT contract at one time, and that they turned it down because they wouldn't be able to take care of the farm. I thought I had read that somewhere.
I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, me too. I can also be wrong. So we both have heard our things, and either way, they never were there. And if they didn't want them for whatever reason, or if they offered it and turned it down for whatever reason, still a classy move, because they don't own footage of them. They don't own photographs of them. Like that's a talent that your core viewership that you believe to be yours and yours alone has never been exposed to in that way. So to be able to take the time and give that time that way, it was really cool and super classy. Yeah. I'm gonna shout out Kiro. Okay, go ahead.
AEW, I was gonna say, I believe I said this on episode 1 about Tony Khan's interest in WWE. Did I not tell you people? Episode 1, he would try to buy WWE.
He's not trying to buy WWE. He said a stupid thing on a podcast because he's a moron, but he's not buying WWE.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do, because I know Vince McMahon's not going to work for Tony Khan.
No, they'd probably let him do what he does. But just know at the end of the day, it's not Tony Khan, it'd be his father.
For one,
Okay.
yeah. It'd be Shad.
And
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Shad Khan buys WWE, leaves Vince in power, and part of the stipulation is Tony can never look Vince in the eyes? Like,
yeah. And the stipulation is Tony is not allowed within 10 feet of him.
Yeah.
Like a circle.
No same room.
And you're not allowed to talk to him without supervision.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even on the phone. No supervision.
None
or
at
no
all.
one
Like,
to be on
absolutely
the
not.
call.
There will be no communication or eye contact made by Tony Khan to Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Yep.
Real quick, Kiro does say here that he has almost enough money saved to start his own wrestling promotion, no sponsorship, and no partners at this time. To
Can
which
I
I
book
would.
for you, Kiro?
What do you want to do for him?
I want to book. I'm a very good booker.
He's not gonna. No, you can give him dream matches, but he's not gonna let you book the whole thing.
Not the whole thing.
Once you see the program, you start talking about dream matches. He'll see if he can work it in.
No.
He's not trying to give you the book.
Okay, just because I've booked my dream match, okay, does not mean that, no. I just want to book a match because I think
What do you think booking a match means? It just means you say these two dudes are going to be in the ring together. That's what booking is.
You also do the program.
Yeah, sometimes.
I want to do that.
You want to do one program?
Excellent booker.
Well, it's going to be up to Kuro. I think Kuro should call it Wrestling on the Rocks because we already have a heavyweight championship belt made. So he can save some money.
Okay.
We can use this and then we'll pretend we're sponsoring him, but we're not. And he pretends that he's sponsored by us, but no money's being moved. He's just using our belt
and
our
then
logo.
Would he have us on commentary?
No, he wouldn't be that dumb not to put us on commentary.
You would be.
We would show up. You know what I mean? Bert and Ernie sweaters or something. We would be faces around there. People would know.
No,
and we'd be on here, and we'd be doing reviews here. We could be like, you know how AEW has that stupid podcast with Aubrey and Tony Schiavone. It might not even exist anymore.
Are you trying to say that
we'd be the official podcast?
You're trying to say that I'm the Aubrey. I see what you're doing.
No, I'm the ref.
Oh, well, then you're Aubrey. Okay. What? No. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
It would be the official podcast for the Wrestling on the Rocks promotion, and they would use our title.
Yeah. And then can we interview people?
You can't just. He's probably doing this in Canada. This guy. He's always doing shit in Canada. He should make it American based, dude, or at least have Brett do something for you. He said he'll make me a full-time ref, so I'm in. I'm moving to Canada. You guys are done.
I can always move to Canada and work for Hyatt.
Ooh, Hyatt would be good. He does say he's going to make it international this time, and you do work for Hyatt, so it could be really good to have a connection like you helping him book hotel accommodations for traveling talent. Just saying.
Now here's the question.
DM's open.
Here's the $1 million question. Would you book Marty Scurll? You don't have to go into a tirade. It's a yes/no question.
I don't know. I would think probably not for a while at least. He's got to get a standing to build equity, you would think. And you don't want to be the first one to do that, I don't think.
He's not the first. He's wrestling for AAA. He's wrestling. No, the Crash.
AAA. Yeah.
No, the Crash. He's wrestling again for
He's in the Crash and he's Puerto Rico, and those places don't count. Those aren't.
Poland doesn't count?
No, it doesn't count. Whatever. I'm just saying.
He's not in the fucking VFW hall, dude.
I'm just saying, Kuro's got to build equity first with his Wrestling on the Rocks promotion.
I can
overweight championship of the world.
I know people. Lip Gordon. I know freaking Colt. I know a lot of people.
You're trying to get him shut down. You just said you want to be a commentator, and now you're like, hey, anybody who's got any heat,
commentator. I was saying, are we being the commentary team? I don't know.
No, we will break down the shows after the fact, like talking smack and stuff.
Okay. Calm down. Calm down.
He does say the first person he wants to tie down is O'Shea Edwards. It's a good call. You should also look into EJ Sparks.
Also, I would say Titus Alexander.
Yeah, but he's an Impact mainstay. I'm trying to give him some names. Bryn Thorne is an
No,
Arizona-based
Titus
women's wrestler.
Alexander
Yeah.
is not. No, he's from Northern California.
Then who am I thinking of?
You're thinking Josh Alexander.
Yeah, that guy's
Yeah,
good.
totally different person.
Yeah, but he's
Totally
good.
different. He's good. Starboy Charlie.
Don't book Starboy Charlie. He's could do his GCW thing. That dude looks like he's full.
Okay, Starboy Charlie and Titus are I'm sure are going to do Dynamite and Dark when they're in the Bay Area.
Sure, let them do Dark. Everyone does Dark. Everyone.
Yeah.
You know who did Dark? Half of NXT's roster. Doesn't matter.
You know who did Dark? A lot. Ricky Starks.
Yeah. Kiro says O'Shea Edwards and Kevin Blackwood are top of my list.
Kevin Blackwood's good.
Yeah, he's not bad.
I like him. But
I don't love his internet presence, but he's good in the ring.
But Kevin Blackwood also needs to wear his trunks.
I like the pink. The pink's the best part.
What?
Pink is the best part. His pink trunks? It's the best.
No, they're very revealing.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, anyways, another good one.
But Bryn Thorne, you should look at, Kiro, because she needs a break.
Yeah.
So how about wrap up the show a little bit? You tell me about the couple things that happened in Dynamite that really stood out to you, because I'll be honest, the production value alone being what it is right now makes it so much easier for me to sit down and watch the whole show. The content that they're putting out does not make it easier for me to focus the whole show.
Well, there were some good matches last night.
There were some good matches and there were some trash matches.
I know you're going to say the Bucks was trash.
I couldn't even get into it because of Nick. Stupid Nick.
No, it was Matt.
I don't know the difference. The stupid one who makes the fucking faces and talks like I'm a wrestler talking. He doesn't no one talks like that even. And
the dark-haired guy or the light-haired guy?
The dark-haired one, not the balding one.
The dark-haired guy is the older brother, and that's Matt. Nick is the younger brother. Know your Bucks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's no reason to know the Bucks because I know when I see one, the other one's going to be right there, and I don't want either. But he fucking pantomimes everything he's doing. He doesn't even try to look like he's trying. He does it like he's a fucking kid making fun of it. It's really weird. He walked over towards someone like he was going to do a clothesline and just slowly puts his arm over them. Then he turns around to see the other guy coming his way, and he stands up, puts his arm back like he's going to punch, and then waited until the guy comes up and grabs him and slams him down. You're like, and he walked into that position. It's not like he was flung back and like, oh, it all timed out. It was like, no, he walked over there and stands there with his fist back and waited for the guy to come hit him. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I walked away, didn't see the rest of it. I didn't even realize it was Top Flight. I'm surprised Top Flight is even not injured right now. This is probably the first match they've had back together since one's always injured. No, they've had
a couple of matches back together. It's been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Puro is saying that the company's going to be traveling and that people could do whatever they want. So it's like a free floating company with everyone to use. Yeah. Those are people I want you to use though, dude.
Yeah.
Trying to help you with your roster.
Yeah.
But go ahead. That was my entire experience with the Young Bucks. I didn't watch Orange Cassidy. So tell me what it was that stood up that you wanted to see. But you know what? Let's get this out of the way too, because it's also a negative and I want to end it on a happy note.
Okay.
As much as we can. The main event,
okay.
Darby versus Kushida. Kushida's amazing, and he's so good. But Tony's booking is so predictable. The one thing that WWE does is at least gives you a reason to make you go, I mean, they could let that guy win. Any match when you watch Roman Reigns in the past 3 years, every time someone's been like, I mean, there is a world where Drew takes it off of him. Well, there is a world where Jay's the one who takes it off of him. No one in any match in AEW do they go, I don't know, it could go either way. They go, oh, this is where the Bucks are going to win because it's for the titles. Oh, this is where Darby's going to win because Kushida's not even signed here. Oh, this is where Orange Cassidy's going to win because this match isn't big enough for him to lose on TV. Like, There's no fucking. I mean, the closest you have, it's like every one of these matches was Bronson Reed versus Akira Tozawa. Yeah, we know how it's going to play out. It's Bronson Reed and Akira Tozawa. But the difference is Bronson Reed and Akira Tozawa are fucking amazing, and they're worth watching every time. Not half this roster is. So that's it. That was my thought on Kushida Darby. It wasn't worth watching. I didn't finish watching it because I see Kushida doing all this great stuff and then go, but I'm not going to sit here for 5 more minutes to watch him lose. That was my tirade. You tell me what stood out, what didn't you like, what did you like? I'm going to get another drink.
Honestly, I only saw half the match. Because why? Kushida was is so good. Okay. Darby Allin can be good when he wants to be, but it's like you already know that Kushida ain't gonna win, and this is all in vain because I don't think there is any intention to sign him. So, yeah. So, why am I going to bother? And that's Tony Khan booking for you. Tony Khan 101. Yep. And, it sucks, but what can you do, right? That's all I have for that match because that really was it. Because it's like, man, why bum myself out when we know that's the result? Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. What else? What did I like? Well, I did like. I don't know if you saw the Bryan Danielson match with Bandito. Holy fuck! Was cool. It was amazing. Like Bandito, I'm glad he finally did sign with them because Bandito is amazing. And I think with Bandito, that I never could get bored watching Bandito. I get bored watching Penta and Phoenix, but never Bandito. And I can't put my finger on why. I just know that I really enjoy watching him. I don't know if it's because he's that talented and that good and he's really, really young because he is very, very young. But it's just something about him that it doesn't ever look botchy. It's very flawless and it flows. So this one was a really great testament to see. Now, I'm hoping because these people, it's supposed to get harder and harder. So for Bryan Danielson, so now we have Brian Cage next week. Which I'm like, that's stupid. You know who I think should be the final one? Zack Sabre Jr. But I live in a world where I don't think that's going to fucking happen. So it's okay. It's okay. But eventually that match needs to happen, though. New Japan, probably. But I need to see that. Because that's two of the best, really, literally the best technical wrestlers in the world right now. Yeah. Sorry, Jonathan Gresham, kid. That ain't you. But anyways, so I really enjoyed. Oh, no, he was at Bola. Yeah. Well, because he kind of opens his mouth a little bit, but whatever.
Yeah, I wonder if he shot himself in the foot. He was close to getting probably something, but I don't know. I don't know that it's all on the up after this.
No, I think he's on Impact now.
Well, she's good, but
but he was on Bola in the what I like to call the spousal abuse match, and she did win because why? She's the one that wears the pants in the family.
I mean, everyone's got pants.
No, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But other thing, of course, I'm going to have to do this because, I like big butts and I cannot lie. We saw the return of Ricky not wearing white shorts. So, yay, didn't look like a diaper. But his promo last week was pretty awesome because he's finally getting the mic. Action Andretti should never have the mic. But he's calling himself Stroke Daddy again. I think we might get a return of those jerseys. I don't know, or something modified of the Stroke Daddy thing, but it only really works with the jersey, I think. But anyways, we're getting shades of old Ricky. He did the whole thing with Hager. He put on the hat, and then he decided to showboat, doing the whole walking the top rope thing. And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, the greatest hits of Ricky Starks are coming. So you know what's next. I think we all know what's next. There's going to be a little bit of full moon happening on AEW, calling it right now. And boy, when that happens, we're going to talk a lot about it. A lot. So when it happens, I said it on episode 1. And if you've never seen his butt,
Brace yourself.
you'll really see it. You will really see it. And you will know why. There we go. And that, my friends, was how I watched AEW. Now, Rampage does look very interesting to me. And also what they're doing with Takeshita. They're really pushing him. But the guy's fucking great, though. Yeah. I don't like that they're kind of hinting that maybe Don Callis is going to turn on Kenny. But I would love to see Takeshita versus Kenny. Because I think we're going to get New Japan Kenny out of that.
That would be good. It would be good. I saw More Than Us mention that Kenny in Japan is a different Kenny in every way. Mm-hmm. So even from some pretty harsh critics of his, recognized that he was different and better when in Japan, even as recently as this Wrestle Kingdom match. So, I think it'd be very welcome to see a different version of Kenny for sure. Is that all you had to say about Ricky and Jake Hager?
I mean, it was, he laid for Ricky. I mean, what do you expect?
What do you think about, because it looks like they're going to keep going with this. Didn't Ricky beat Jericho?
Mm-hmm.
So now he's going to go through the whole stupid club and then go back to Jericho?
Probably, because Jericho's riding the same train.
That's what I mean. So Jericho can get the win over Ricky at the end?
No.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what's going to happen. Ricky's going through all of JAS, so Jericho can win in the end.
No. If anything,
but he will.
They're going to throw in Action Andretti in there, and Ricky's not going to lose to Action Andretti. It's going to be Action Andretti.
No one said he would.
Ricky's not going to lose to Jericho, because they're going to put the spot in where Jericho wins over the Kid. There'll probably be a tag. I don't know who would be in that tag. I think we're going to see Action Andretti and that horrible tag team of whatever Magic Mike and whatever the fuck, the two dumb fucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a fan. So.
Yeah.
Well, I am looking forward to see what they did with the Jay Briscoe tribute show. I have not seen online any spoilers. I'm really hoping that I know they were wearing armbands that said Jay with a heart on it.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
I'd like that. Yeah, and I'm really hoping that a lot of people who he worked with for a long amount of time, like people like Cabana, I'm hoping FTR maybe would wrestle on this thing. The Bucks, obviously, but I really hope that there is some kind of something. And I really hope that there's a tag tournament that's like a Briscoe Memorial one. But I would love to see, and this would be a Rule Forbidden Door kind of thing, some of the old ROH tag teams. I know it's shitty because Frankie Kazarian just signed with Impact, and then Motor City Machine Guns are over at Impact. But there are a lot of teams, man, that are still out there that were amazing. So maybe bring back.
It's crazy how they.
I don't know.
You know what?
But
what we'll wrap up on is it's crazy to me how, and it sucks because I was wanting to go on something real positive, and this is not going to sound that way. It's crazy to me how much Tony. I mean, he gets some criticism for some people, but a lot of people forgive him for it. He flubs things the craziest way. He had SCU and completely flubbed that tag team. Scorpio Sky was the big guy who was going to break out from that, and really drove him into the dirt to where now no one from SCU even works there. When was the last time we even saw Scorpio Sky? He's still on the roster, right? I'm scrolling through right now just to see. Yeah, he's still on the roster. Frankie's over in Impact now. When when you think about Paige, Saraya, she already turned heel. She only had 2 matches. And she just turned heel because they couldn't figure out how to capitalize on arguably one of the biggest comeback stories in years. She got injured and couldn't wrestle. She was told she'd never wrestle again and wouldn't be cleared. She comes back to a hero's welcome. We can't believe this happened. And by a month later, they've turned the whole fans against her because they couldn't figure out how to capitalize on that. She should be the biggest face of your division. And so it's insane to me. SCU, Saraya. I would throw Punk in there because he felt less special really quick, but a lot of that sounds like Punk's fault at this point. Kiro does say Marsh should read my match idea on the podcast, see how fast someone steals it. I actually didn't read it because I don't want someone to steal it. But I took a picture of it because I'm sending it to our old buddy Kevlar and asking him how he would actually make a match like that work, because I think there's promise, but I think a lot of your concept there is messy, like you were insinuating. And Kevlar's he's good at making shit like that work, man. He's got a weird brain. So, but yeah, I just think that it's crazy how Tony Khan's flubbed, and now Tony's a heel for some reason. Tony and Saraya are heels. Like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
How do you flub the return of Saraya?
I don't know.
It's insane.
It's weird. But then again, okay, he also flubbed righting a wrong with Phil and Cabana. So,
yes,
and so it's kind of like, well, yeah. I'm like, just don't sign any more people. Okay. Just don't, because you don't really know what to do with them. Because you're always going to highlight Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, the same old bullshit. So just don't.
Yeah.
But, who knows? But if we do want to end things on a positive note, I will say that it's kind of cool now to kind of see. It'll be very interesting because the wrestling community has definitely been very supportive of Jay Briscoe, and I think that it's sad that it takes death to bring us together, but I'm really hoping that this whole experience, it just kind of makes people just kind of sit back and think, and maybe not be as judgmental, but keep it positive, keep it on the real, and celebrate really what it is that we love. And it's professional wrestling, and we just lost probably one of the members of one of the greatest tag teams of modern time. And I really think that we should celebrate that. And if you're never seen the Briscoes, you might find a match you like, or if you're diehard, you might go back and watch matches that you've loved seeing throughout the years. So definitely,
unless something massive happens on AEW or NXT next week, maybe we do like a watch along for a couple of Briscoe matches.
Yeah, I'm happy to.
You know what I mean?
We should see if we can do Steen and Generico.
For sure, that's on the docket.
Yeah, for
absolutely,
for sure.
But
and maybe, I know you don't like the Young Bucks, but they've had some epic matches with the Young Bucks.
Watching the Young Bucks.
Oh, don't make that face.
It's the goddamn Young Bucks.
Well, then we can find somebody else then. Okay, I don't want to watch the Briscoes and FTR again. I don't need to be seeing that. I'm trying to give other people shots. I wonder, because
maybe we find that GCW match with maybe we find a couple of GCW matches too. Ring of Honor, GCW. We'll look around. We'll put together a couple matches.
I think they faced the Second City Saints. I'm sure they had back in the day. Phil and Cabana, when they were besties.
That would be cool. That would be insane to watch.
I'm sure they did. Yeah.
That would be insane.
I mean,
so yeah, let's look up some matches, see what we can find. And next week, unless something massive happens, maybe we'll do a watch along and just talk about what we're seeing and what's going on.
And then remember,
encourage people to watch it as well.
The week after, I will not be here because I will be on the 7 seas. Well, it's not 7 seas; it's only 1 sea, but I'll be on the Jericho cruise, and it's on
it's the week after next.
Yeah, and it's going to be the night where it's the rep your deck. I am going in a giant pineapple onesie. I will have pictures, and also too. The one thing I'm really excited about, and part of me is more excited about this than the wrestling. Fucking Quiet Riot is on the boat.
That's cool.
Okay. I will be singing along. I really wish, I don't know, are members of Dawkins alive? But I really was hoping that one of these Jericho cruises, they would get Dawkins. Because I fucking love Dawkins. Who doesn't love Dawkins, right? I mean, seriously. But Quiet Riot, man. Bang your head. Yeah, I'm gonna be I will not again. I am going to be the only one not singing along with Judas because I don't
refuse
do that.
to cross your arms.
I don't refuse to. That's just bullshit. Stupid. I ain't. I'm a fan of wrestling. I don't. Whatever. The only time when Jericho plays with Fozzy that I like is when they do the covers night, and it's usually the second night in. So that's exciting. And then he's got his project band, which was really good, called Quarantine, and Frankie Kazarian's going to be playing with him. So that'll be great. Frankie, Frankie, that rock and roller. Can't take that away from him. And then, of course, lots of good people. I'm so excited to see Flip. It's not even funny. I can't wait to meet Cardona. Okay, because I'm trying to find my Take Care, Spike Your Hair shirt. I cannot find it. I know I have.
You don't have to prep us for something that's going to happen in 2 weeks that you're going to come back in 3 weeks and tell us about.
Okay. I'm just trying to make it happy and light, I'm trying to get the bad juju, the sadness away.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time, and we're going to want to hear about it, but we're going to want to hear about it when we hear about it. Don't be prepped for 20 minutes about how you're going to talk to us about something in 3 weeks.
Well, yeah, but I'm getting you excited.
But next week we're going to do some Briscoe's watch-alongs. The week after that, anybody who wants to come on, just let me know. Hit me up at Ref Marsh.
Wait.
Almost anybody.
No.
Yeah, could be almost anybody.
Well, you know what? Bishop's
not going to watch AEW or NXT. Why would Bishop do that to himself? Sit down and watch all of AEW.
Bishop wants to take my spot on Thursday, apparently, and confuse people to think that, it's, Thursday Night Chaser, and then all of a sudden they see, Bishop instead of me. I'm just saying.
It was Thursday afternoon happy hour and Thursday Night Chaser. That's how we did it.
I know, but people were confused and thought it was me.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I don't smell like chicken and I'm from Delaware. No,
I can't.
I have no reason to be in Delaware.
No, I mean,
and if I am in Delaware, I must be dead or something, roaming the earth.
No one knows what it's supposed to mean.
So
anybody who wants to come on in 2 weeks, let me know. Hit me up at Ref Marsh. You can let us know at WOTR the show on Twitter. But until next week, when we come back here in the dive bar of the IWC for a brand new episode 1, that's last call.
Cheers.
Hey, producer lady here. Thanks for tuning in. Continue to support us or buy us a drink by following and putting the I in subscribe on Twitch. Or subscribe and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to us. Cheers.
I would never have a drink with wrestling on the rocks.